The member from Vancouver-Langara.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. I rise today to speak in strong support of the amendment to the Employment Standards Act that will allow workers across British Columbia to take up to 27 weeks of unpaid, job-protected medical leave when facing a serious illness or injury. This bill is about compassion, it's about fairness, and it's about making sure that here in British Columbia, no one ever has to choose between their health and their livelihood. I want to commend Premier David Eby and Minister of Labour for introducing this important legislation and for listening to the voices of workers, patient advocates, and employers who have all said the same thing. People deserve peace of mind when they are at their most vulnerable. This amendment brings British Columbia up to the same standard that already exists in several other provinces: Ontario, Manitoba, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador, and aligns us with the Federal Employment Insurance Sickness Benefit Program, which provides income support for up to 27 weeks. It's a change that has been a long time coming, and one that will make a real difference for thousands of people and families across our province. Honourable Speaker, every one of us knows someone whose life has been changed by a diagnosis like cancer, multiple sclerosis, heart disease, or Parkinson's. We know people who have faced devastating injuries from accidents or violence or simply the unpredictable turns of life. When illness strikes, it can turn a person's world upside down. In those moments, the last thing anyone should have to worry about is whether their job will be there when they recover. This amendment gives workers the dignity and security they deserve, the assurance that when they are ready to return to work, their job will still be waiting for them. It gives them time to heal, to undergo treatment, to rebuild their strength, and to do so without any worry or fear. I have heard from constituents in Vancouver-Langara who have shared how difficult it can be to manage a long-term illness while also worrying about their job. One woman told me that after being diagnosed with breast cancer, she used her vacation days and short-term leave just to get through chemotherapy. When those ran out, she didn't know what would happen next. She said, and I quote, "I just needed time to get better, but I also needed my job to come back to." End quote. Honourable Speaker, that should not be too much to ask for in a province as caring and forward-thinking as ours. This legislation will ensure that workers like her, our neighbours, our friends, our family members, do not have to face that kind of impossible choice again. Many employers in British Columbia already do the right thing. They understand that supporting workers through illness isn't just the compassionate thing to do, it's also good business. When you take care of people, they come back stronger, more loyal, and more committed. and this bill recognizes that partnership. I want to acknowledge the employers, unions, and associations that supported this change, including the Retail Council of Canada and the Tourism Industry Association of BC. Their willingness to work together with government shows the best of what we can achieve when compassion and collaboration guide our decisions. Importantly, this leave is unpaid, so businesses are not being asked to cover wages during the leave period. Instead, this amendment provides clarity and fairness, a clear framework that balances the needs of workers and employers alike. This amendment also reflects our shared values of equity and inclusion. It acknowledges that people living with disabilities or chronic illnesses deserve the same opportunity to remain in the workforce, to recover, and to contribute to their communities. We know that 1 in 4 British Columbians lives with a disability. For too long, many have had to make the painful choice of between working beyond their capacity or giving up their job entirely. As the Disability Alliance BC said, this change will remove a key barrier to employment and help build a more inclusive labor market. And for survivors of intimate partner violence who may suffer serious long-term injuries, this new leave will ensure that they have the time they need to seek medical care and recover safely without risking their employment. That too, Mr. Speaker, is an important step toward justice and healing. Honorable Speaker, the evidence supporting this change is clear. In any given year, 8% to 12% of Canadian workers are away from work because of injury, illness, or disability. In British Columbia alone, about 53,000 people claim federal employment insurance sickness benefits each year, and many of them need longer than just a few weeks to recover. There are also 245,000 people living with cancer in our province today, 42% of whom have survived more than a decade after diagnosis. That tells us something powerful. People can and do recover. With time, treatment, and support, they return to their families, their communities, and their workplaces. This legislation gives them the time they need to make that recovery possible. Now, some may ask whether this change will be difficult for small businesses. I understand those concerns. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, and they have faced immense pressure over the past few years. But our government continues to support them by doubling the employer health tax exemption threshold to $1 million, maintaining one of the lowest small business tax rates in Canada, and helping open new trade and investment opportunities. We know that a healthy workforce is a productive workforce. Supporting people through recovery is an investment, not just in individuals, but in our economy and in the social fabric of this province. Honorable Speaker, this amendment is about more than a legislation. It's about empathy. It's about recognizing that at some point, any of us or someone we love could find ourselves in that position. It's about ensuring that British Columbia continues to lead with compassion to build workplaces that are fair, inclusive, and humane. As our Premier said, and I quote, "People should never have to choose between their job and their health." And as our Minister of Labor reminded us, when life takes an unexpected turn, workers deserve to know their job will be there when they're ready to come back. With this amendment, we are saying clearly, your health matters, your recovery matters, and your contribution to this province matters. So today, I am proud to stand in support of this legislation, proud to stand with workers, with families, and with every British Columbian who has faced illness with courage and hope. Let's make sure that when our people focus on getting better, they can do so knowing that their future remains secure. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.